Why are you locked in a bathroom?
Because it's the only semi-cool place in my flat in this blasted heat.
Why does your text-to-speech sound like Columbo?
You kinda missed by a fucking mile there, lol. Cause I said the Uberduck AI to synthesize HAL 9000. Besides, that's a boomer-ass reference there, mate. Absolutely cringe. Columbo isn't even in Fortnite. I can't finish this sentence, and I have a sudden urge to taste the shotgun barrel.
How did you start this whole YouTube business?
That is actually not an easy question to answer, believe it or not. Because as some of you might know, this is the second channel I started. The first one was all over the place, is the short of it, and felt like I needed a fresh start with better focus in order to get anywhere. But yes, the entire video editing thing started for me back in 2016. My, at the time, best friend had his birthday, and I visited him, and we were fucking around like we used to, and at one point we ended up deciding, let's make a gameplay video like Tear of Grace. We checked what Soviet claimed he was using, Yard, Vegas Pro, recorded some footage in Wolfenstein The New Order, and threw together a video. It was frankly a wholesome experience, and I decided to continue from there. And the previous channel took only 5 years to get 58 subscribers. Yeah.
How do you deal with shitposters?
That's the neat part. Not at all. Well, unless they're shitposting, threaten my operations. Then I deal with them with extreme prejudice.
How much is the fish?
The entire economy of Greece.
Why did you continue doing YouTube?
Well, if you are asking why did I continue after the first channel didn't go anywhere at all, it's because I'm a creation junkie. Most of my skills is acquired through years serve the purpose of calming down the voices. Although my father would probably suggest that getting some sex could ease it up a bit too. Then again, I wouldn't fucking know. If you ask why did I press on with this channel? Okay, the answer will likely throw a lot of you off. I implore you to listen to my explanation in its entirety. I continued the channel and didn't drop it despite certain disappointments, because people support me financially on Patreon. And because, especially early, I did receive a significant amount of positive feedback, especially to the first Stalker episode. I know how the fuck does it sound, so please let me explain. I have certain mental issues that impede my working speed, because sometimes I have to literally fight with myself to do anything. One of the things that helped me find motivation is the fact that I treat my Patreon supporters as my employees. They paid me to provide a product, and no matter their own personal reasons to throw cash at me, I feel obliged to provide. If this sounds cold, it's because my brain just loves to filter out any positivity. And I need some cold reasoning based on logic to keep me going some days, alright?
So what's the next goal? 1,000 subs.
I mean, I wouldn't have to make a Q&A or think of anything for a special for 10 years. And as much as it's tempting, I think I should likely go for something a bit more realistic. I don't know, let's go for one level progression numbers and go with 300?
What are the winning lottery numbers?
Integers.
Have you ever considered deciphering the algorithm's will?
Christ, I think I understand what you mean by that. The answer is yes and no. I considered it, but it's not really possible for me to compare to the results. I won't fucking debase myself like this. I feel like a good reason for people enjoying my stuff is my investment in it. And I can't get invested in more than 90% of this modern shite out there. It's fucking soulless. I refuse. I also resist.
Did you see that ludicrous display yesterday?
No, I gonna give a toss about the fucking Olympics, mate.
Would you ever make a coding tutorial?
I was thinking about it, but no. This channel is specifically focusing on gaming. Heavily edited gaming videos. You could make an argument that I could make a coding tutorial relating to game development, but first of all, that would be too much of a reach. Second of all, coding games is literally my job, so that would be bringing job home.
what genres of video games you'd like to try playing, but they never seem to gel with you, like the games didn't make sense or you just couldn't get into them. Would you ever try playing an actual visual novel? That said, what do you think of choose your own adventure style of books? What about tabletop or pigs? What would you expect from playing such a game?
Jesus fucking Christ, that's a... No, okay, one by one. What genres of video games you'd like to try playing, but they never seemed to gel with you? Like the games didn't make sense or you just couldn't get into them? This could be a surprise to some, but the first answer that comes to my mind is actually Paradox Grand Strategies. Alternatively, real-time strategies. I sincerely prefer the turn-based strategies myself, and the only RTS I got into in my years were the first Dawn of War and its expansions. Would you ever try playing an actual visual novel? Does Planescape Torment count? Jokes aside, though, you know, I like reading, and that's why I have books. This probably sounds confusing to a lot of my Twitch followers, so let me explain. I like RPGs with a lot of good writing, that is correct. But they need to offer me gameplay, instead of letting me choose one single option every 40 minutes and call it a day. I like good writing, good world building, but those mean nothing when no gameplay is present. In this case, role-playing is that gameplay element I count on when I play my CRPGs. And if a game is lacking in the role-playing department, but it has good writing and world-building, it must be supplanted by more traditionally understood gameplay. Case in point, Cult Heretic Kingdoms. That said, what do you think of choose your own adventure style of books? They are a waste of paper. Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. What about tabletop RPGs? What would you expect from playing such a game? Versatility and being streamlined enough for a group of players to actually have a game. That's one thing. As for what I think about tabletop RPGs, I enjoyed what little sessions I had. Although surprisingly to some, it's not D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, that is my favorite RPG system. My favorite RPG system is Neuroshima 1.5. When I first encountered pen and paper RPGs, it was around the time of Dungeons and Dragons 3.0, and yeah, that wasn't the smoothest thing to run, let me tell you. Neuroshima 1.5, on the other hand, I had to read the rulebook once, and I did not have a single issue understanding the mechanics or rules.
And lastly, if your body would be okay, where would you like to go and what would you like to see?
Brothel, and a pair of magnificent tits that would then proceed to smother me to death.